How's it going, Sha?
Not pretty good. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm good. But I'm having my at my integrity question today. You know, I was at the corner store. I ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel, and for some reason, like they were switching things up. You got Barty and you got the cook, right? And they both could cook, but like they have like normally clearly defined roles where like if they're both there, one guy cooks and Barty usually stays behind the counter. Right. But like for some reason they had switched it today. They were like Barty, like I guess he got bored or something. He wanted to cook today. Okay. And Cook was behind the counter. He could do it. Right. So I show up, I say what's up to the cook who's behind the counter. But then I go to Barty and I say, yo, can I get a bacon, egg, and cheese? And he says, yo, just give me a minute. And because he's like doing a big order. And I see him talk back to the cook, trying to clarify the like big order they're doing. So I didn't even get to, complete my bacon, egg, and cheese order. I didn't say what bread I want. I didn't say, ketchup, none of that shit. So I rock with them. These are my peoples. I ain't got no problem with it. Right. I have bacon, egg, and cheeses pretty often. They do them well, but I wasn't going to get one right now. And I had to get back for a Zoom call. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to call an audible. I'm going to have some of the empanadas they made instead because those are pre-made in the morning. It's still early enough where I'm like, okay, this is still fresh. Ain't going to be flaky. So I ordered 2 empanadas and I said, let's go with that instead. The cook who's now behind the counter says, yo, you got anything else going on? I said, nah, that's it. I kept it moving. Went inside. Right. I went in later at like 1:00 and Barty is now alone and behind the counter. He's like, yo, you left me hanging. I made you a bacon, egg, and cheese. And I was like, nah, I never ordered the bacon, egg, and cheese. I asked for the bacon, egg, and cheese. You said, wait a minute, like you hadn't taken my order. And he's like, nah, I made the bacon, egg, and cheese. I was like, how would you have made the bacon, egg, and cheese if I didn't tell you what bread to put it on? Like, you ain't know what the order was yet. You just knew the meats. Yeah. Like there's more parts to the order, And he's like, nah, I made it on the roll. I was like, see, that's how I know you ain't make mine. I always eat it on a bagel. And I was like, this is why, you got a system. You got to stick with it, Barty. You got a valid cook over there. He know my thing. And he would have known to ask for what bread. You just autopilot doing this roll thing. Right. That's what most people order. I don't do the roll. I do the bagel. So like we had to do like this weird machismo thing where he was like, all right, whatever. And I was like, nah, I'll pay for it. He's like, nah, I don't need you to pay for it. I just want to know what happened. And like, so he's like not asking for the $3, but wanting the $3. And I'm not wanting to get this, but not wanting to pay, but also willing to pay. Right. And now we got weird friction and I don't want that with my corner store. So I know that's everything to you. Yeah. So I figured, I'm going to invite some friends over. I'm going to overcompensate one of these days. I'm going to order like 5 sandwiches just to like, break the calm. Like, yo, I'm still good for business, baby. Right. I rock with you. I ain't got no beef. And that's the other thing I was explaining to him. I was like, he thought I was mad. I was like, I was like, yo, Barty, I wasn't mad that like, you had other people going on. I understood. You got business. I'm one sandwich. You had like a 7 sandwich order. I'm next door. I get a sandwich all the time. I still bought something. I was like, I had no beef with you. I just understood. Okay, I'm not getting a bacon, egg, and cheese today. I still got empanadas, Barty. You still made them. Right. Like I don't know what you want from me. Like, I feel like we should still be cool. He's like, nah, but you left him mad. You didn't get your sandwich. I was like, I wasn't mad. I was admittedly disappointed. I was looking forward to a bacon, egg, and cheese. But I wasn't mad. I had some good ass empanadas. We good. And he was all right. But I know like the energy ain't right. I gotta go over there and like smooth it over. Well, how are you smooth it over with him? I gotta like chit chat. Like I gotta talk about like Winter League baseball. Like real neat shit. I gotta talk about like Las Aguilas. And I don't know the other team. What now? What that's one of the baseball. That's the baseball team in the Dominican Republic from like my particular like part of DR. Yeah, they do like a World Series in that direction. So like all the little like cities or counties, they play each other then the winning team reps DR in the Caribbean World Series against the other countries.
Gotcha.
So yeah, Las Aguilas is the team from where like my family's hood is from.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I talk about that a lot with him, he gets like misty eyed because he misses home, and we get cool again. You know?
Okay. All right. Well, as long as you have a process.
Yeah, I got a plan. And if it gets real bad, I'm gonna just bring my dad over because they fuck with each other. They like the same age. Okay. They from the same hood. They good. Mm-hmm. So like I'll bring him over. It's like, yo, see, like I'm cool. I'm part of the seed, you know. And I also think like I'm curious if he had a fight with his son that day.
Because that's like why he was
like he a little edgy with me because it's the same dynamic. Like my pop, super hardworking, blue collar immigrant dude, and like I got me, you know. And I see the same with him. Like there was a time I needed like security footage, and he ain't know how to function. He ain't know how to do the computer shit. So like I had to wait till his son came to work the computer with the security system, and I fuck with him. Me and him click instantly.
Right.
You know, because we've been through the same struggle. You know, we see each other. We two like 30-year-old dudes dealing with these 60-year-old hardworking blue collar Dominican immigrant. Emotionally unavailable men, you know. You know, they show their love through you know, and us inheriting real estate and random sandwiches. Right. That's how they show us our love, you know. So I felt bad because I know like every time he makes me a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich, whether it's him or the cook, I know that that's like him saying I love you to his son. You know, and I believe that my dad does that somewhere else, you know. And it just it goes around.
This just got extra deep, but yes, I see what you mean.
That's why I want to repair it. Like it means something. Like I know, like it matters, and I feel like when him and my dad talk, they like commiserate, like they like about like us, like oh these fucking kids, they don't get it, you know.
Sure, okay, I understand that. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, that's a lot to have to maneuver just for a breakfast sandwich. That is a lot. That's very emotional.
We had a good place.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Well, I hope you're able to get that figured out because that's a very delicate relationship kind of thing. It is weird when you have an encounter with someone and it's not bad, but it feels awkward enough that you're not sure you can bounce back and you feel the repercussions of it for quite some time.
Yeah.
You know, like I like the first time I met a friend's mom who is very important to this friend, the first time I met her was at a show, but I had actually encountered her just minutes before in traffic.
Uh-oh.
So we're on the street. We're both going to the same place, but on the street that we're on, we're at a red light. We've got to cross the street, and I'm in the lane that goes straight, and the mom is in the lane that is right turn only, but she doesn't realize that. So when you go straight, if your lane is right turn only, but you keep going straight, you will find that on the other side, there probably isn't a lane for you because your lane says stop to dump into the cross.
Oh yeah.
So we go across and I'm on and it's one of those where it's 3 lanes and the middle lane is straight only. The left is left turn only. The right is right turn only. So I'm in that middle lane and I go across. She's also going across, but as she goes across, I guess she realizes, oh, there's no lane. And so she was just going to come over into my lane. And I was like, well, you're going to have to wait for me to go first. Like I'm not letting you in front of me. You were in the wrong lane or whatever.
Right. Own that.
So, so we go, whatever, I go and I park and she parks somewhere else or whatever. So then I go into the place and I see my friend and then my friend's mom comes in and my friend's like, oh, this is my mom. Mom, this is Shalewa, blah, blah, blah. And her mom was just like, oh, I know you. You just tried to run me off of the road. And I was like, oh, wow. okay, that's the energy you have. But here's the thing. You're my friend's mom. You're not my mom.
Uh-huh.
I don't have to respect you like that. We just meeting. And if you really gonna be that way, the way we actually met was you trying to run me off the road.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So you haven't earned my respect yet. That's how I see it. I'll give
You're
you
right.
the minimum amount of respect I will, because you are a friend's mother. So I'm not going to like snap on you or be mean to you or anything like that. But I also am just meeting you and I don't know you, and I'm not going to act like you didn't know what you were fucking doing. So I was like, oh yeah, you were the person in the right turn only lane that tried to go straight. Don't do this. Don't do this. I'm a grown woman. I'm not. I know you're used to meeting your child's other friends that are your child's age, but I'm older than your child.
Uh-huh.
So we know each other, but I'm not one of your kids' little friends. So let's get that straight. I know you're her mom, but I'm only younger than you by like 5-6 years. So let's get that straight.
We could have been in school together.
We could be in school together. We could have been in school together, in which case this would have been a fight. So let's not, let's not get it twisted. And
I hope y'all made it out.
well, I mean, I still encounter the mom, the friend and the mom. And the mom is nice. She is a nice woman. But and now I'm just like, oh, I don't know if we'll ever be friendly, just because, I mean, she's someone's mom. There's that kind of thing too, where it's like, it is someone's mother. So when I'm dealing with her, I'm like, this is so-and-so's mother. I will give you the mother type of respect or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not, I will say that I'm an odd duck for sure. So, if there's something that you're hoping I do, or you're wanting me to, you think I'm going to be a certain way and I'm not, you kind of have to be okay with that to be cool with me. And sometimes people are just not okay with it. Sometimes people are like, why don't you just do more of, or I wish you would just want, or why don't you? And I'm like, you keep asking these questions and none of it's going to get me to change. So she doesn't do that, like ask questions like, why don't you just, but I can see on her face that sometimes she's like, why aren't you more of a, and I'm like, hey man, this is what you got. I'm your kid's friend. Like,
wasn't a menu, okay?
Yeah. This is what I'm serving. And I wonder if at times she's like, this bitch tried to run me off the road, and I got to be friends with her. You know what I mean? To which I say, there is a right turn only lane on Wyuka, everybody. When you get to Roswell,
get it right. Shalewa flies down to Atlanta every year just to verify it's still there. Okay,
it's there. I knew, and also my sister lived on that road, so I knew that street.
Yeah, I love when people like use like random family like references like that. I know that because my cousin went to that school.
Right. Like the place we were going, my sister lived literally around the corner for years, right around the curve. I know it. It's one of those, you just happen to catch me on a street that I know how to drive when I'm asleep. Any street that I know how to drive when I'm asleep, I know that shit. Back of my hand. So if you don't know where the turn lanes are or whatever, it's new to you, that's cool. I wouldn't have made a big deal out of it. I wasn't the one that brought it up. It's just shit that happened on the street. Stuff happens in the street all the time. But she had to come out her mouth like, oh yeah, I do. I know you. You just tried to run me off the road. Oh, this how we going? Okay.
All
right. You started.
That's it. Shalewa knows these streets. Okay.
So now it's like, all right, how do I repair this? You know what I mean? And I don't know if it was repaired for the first couple of years. I feel like the woman looked at me sideways, just like, this bitch. And I'm like, that's fair, but you also tried to throw me under the bus, and I held on to the outside of the bus, and you weren't expecting that. And I continued to hold on to the side of the bus, and you never got me under the bus. So
you know what I love about all of this, Sha?
What?
You started telling a story to be like, oh, I have a similar thing. This isn't similar at all.
It is.
I'm trying to repair mine. You sound very proud.
I'll eventually repair it, maybe. But it is
still not repaired now.
It speaks to the uneasiness that you feel when you've had a thing with someone that
Stop.
shouldn't have been a big thing.
You don't sound uneasy at all. You
Oh,
sound
I'm very uneasy. It is. But when I encounter it, they're still just like, I don't know if we're ever gonna get past her thinking I tried to run her off the road.
It sounds like you would run
it.
her over today if you were still right.
I
Okay.
wouldn't. Look. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there is that uneasy feeling.
Okay.
Much like how you got to go in there and you're like, how do I?
Yeah.
Now I got to bring my dad in. I got to order a bunch of sandwiches for this dude to know that everything's cool. When I encounter my friend's mom, there is a feeling of like, you know,
I hear you. Okay.
You know, like I don't know if we get along enough.
That's real.
You know, and that's just an uncomfortable feeling because you never really know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, like hopefully you and Poppy can fix it and it'll be fine. But Poppy could also just be hard-headed and just be like, nah, I'm gonna be mad at him forever. And you can't stop when someone wants to be that way.
Yeah, nah, it is. Like I've already like unfortunately thought it through where like what my other corner store would be.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've spent the day on that. Like, all right, if it comes to that, I'm gonna give it a week, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't feel like I'm getting the love on the sandwiches anymore, you know, like if they just getting made, like if they, you know, if they become assembly line sandwiches,
right,
then you know I gotta cross the street. Like, it's over, you know. My next door corner store is that. It's beautiful times. I'm gonna remember it fondly.
Well, you know what? Just I think be patient, and even if you do get a couple of assembly line sandwiches, at some point, everyone gets tired of holding up that facade when they're angry. When people are like, "Oh, this dude, I got to be angry now," because
right.
You know what I mean? At some point, you're going to come through, and they're going to be like, "I'm too tired to be angry with this person," and then everything will snap back to where it was.
Yeah, because I'm good energy in the store.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, it's gonna be hard for him to be mad at me when I'm like,
right,
everybody else is
exactly.
laughing.
Count on that. Whereas I am bad energy, which is probably why I still think her mom is like this bitch, because for all intents and purposes, I am this bitch. I am an eye roll of a person. So I get it.
Oh man, let's get into the news.
Sure.
Let's talk about some things that we are far less familiar with than roads. Gifted at the top of her game, Ashley Barty shocks the sports world. On her day, Ashley Barty was an unstoppable force. But her sudden retirement at the age of 25 comes as a shock, not only due to her age, but because she looked set to dominate women's tennis for the foreseeable future. Barty's mixture of crushing ground strokes and slice backhand, two things I have no idea what they look like, which is a near to a perfect shot, as there has been at times, made her irrepressible. This was never more apparent than in January's Australian Open, the site of the last of Barty's 3 Grand Slams, where she didn't drop a set on the way to becoming the tournament's first home champion since 1978. With time on her side, the only question remained immediately after her Australian Open win was how many Grand Slams would she win? Despite her success, Barty said she had been thinking about retirement for a long time. In fact, she admitted her decision to retire was only solidified by her Australian Open and Wimbledon victories last year. Wimbledon last year changed a lot for me as a person and for me as an athlete. When you work so hard your whole life for one goal, to be able to win Wimbledon, which was my dream, the one true dream that I wanted in tennis, that really changed my perspective. Barty becomes just the second woman in history to retire while ranked number 1 in the world, following Justine Henin in 2008. But it's not the first time she has walked away from the sport.
Okay. I mean, she don't want to do it no more.
That's it, B.
In a way, I kind of respect that.
Yeah.
She had these things and she did the things, and I sense she got the feeling of like, all right, I did it. But there may have been another feeling that she did not get, or that she doesn't feel like is worth chasing for a second time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She won Wimbledon and that feels great, but there's no need to do it again.
Nah, I dig
because
it.
it's not going to feel the same the second time as it will the first time. And
Yeah,
now you're just chasing that dragon. Yes.
the magic went away. You know, it's part of it is like, you know, climbing the mountain. Once you've done it, it's not a challenge anymore.
Right.
I looked up her net worth. She worth 33 million US. So
Okay.
like, you know, money wise ain't an issue. So, you know, she's young enough where she could find some new pursuit
I
in
read this
life.
thing, and it looks like she's also very good at golf,
Yeah.
and she likes playing cricket, which I believe is the what is that? Is that the Indian baseball?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Like
Yeah, a
they
little
put
bit.
yeah, kind of like that. They got like cool equipment. I like the stuff they have on.
Right.
That should look dope.
Yeah, the outfits are better. The uniforms
Yeah.
are better for sure. Yeah, I gotta tell you, I know you're a baseball person and everything, and I don't pay attention to it. But when they went to a weird boot cut and covered up the socks, and the pants didn't tuck into the sock thing anymore,
Yeah.
yeah, they lost me. I didn't like that. I didn't
I
like that.
agree. That
Yeah.
was a big part of it for me too. I like the like the extra sock thing that they wear that serves no purpose.
Yes, yeah.
You know, that like thin string thing. It's like decorative. Yeah.
The pomp and circumstance of it. Also, you lose the tightness a little bit of the pant, then you don't see all the great bubble butts that are happening in baseball. And that's really why we're here, isn't it?
Listen,
look at the bubble butts. The
I was
bubble
proud
butts of baseball.
I was proud of my butt from early. I thought that was kind of why we did all those squats, you know, like
right, absolutely.
There's no other time
in tight.
Oh yeah.
Now you can't. Now you can't
do it no more.
You
gone, all these baggy pants.
Yeah.
Yeah, be.
Well, I hope she finds peace. I'm all for anyone who's doing this thing. I kind of respect it when they're just like, all right, I've done enough.
Word up. This was dope. Good on her. Go chase your happiness. More people should, and they wait too late. You're doing it at 25. You figured out life. Good for you.
Yeah, there's so many other things that you can do. Why just be limited to, all right, well, you're a tennis player now, and that's the box we have you in. Where are you going? Who told her how to climb out of the box? So let her
Shouts to Lupe.
Do it.
You know what I mean? DC sues GrubHub for allegedly employing deceptive practices. That's right. The Attorney General of Washington, D.C. announced Monday he is suing GrubHub, alleging that the company harmed consumers during the pandemic by charging hidden fees and by misleading consumers about them using so-called dark patterns, along with a battery of other claims. The food delivery service, which grew in prominence over the pandemic as in-person dining shifted to takeout and delivery orders, sent a response Monday that the company supports D.C. restaurants and has sought to work with Rancine's office over the past year to address its concerns. We're disappointed that they have moved forward with this lawsuit because our practices have always complied with DC law, a GrubHub spokesperson said. Many of the practices at issue have been discontinued. We will aggressively defend our business in court and look forward to continuing to serve DC restaurants and diners. In his Monday complaint filed in DC Superior Court, Attorney General Carl Racine alleged that GrubHub has violated the district's consumer protection laws and is not transparent about the fees it charges users, saying the company does not display additional service fees in the way it prominently displays delivery fees. Until recently, recently, GrubHub further obscured these additional fees by regrouping them with taxes at checkout. This practice constitutes a dark pattern, a design feature that devices coerce or manipulates consumers, that deceives, coerces, or manipulates consumers into making choices that are either not what they intended or not in their best interests.
Okay, so this is like when you've ordered stuff and then you go into that final thing before you hit bring me the food.
Hell yeah.
Suddenly there's like a service fee. And then there's just like a daylight fee, and then like all these other things that just pop up. Yeah, you gotta stop just tapping until it says your food is on its way. I have absolutely backed out of plenty of orders where I'm like, what? And then I just go and eat like another English muffin. Like, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. Yeah, I didn't know that was called a dark. What was it? A
It was
dark.
like a dark pattern, I think it was
A
the
dark,
phrase.
yeah, dark pattern. I didn't know that that's what that is. But yeah, no, that ain't right. It's not cool.
Yo,
You know, yeah,
I
and also I guess like the restaurants don't actually get those fees and the drivers don't get those fees.
yeah.
So it's like, what's happening?
Yeah, GrubHub, you jacking us, B.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
know?
And that's a shame because that's pretty much the only one I use because either Seamless bought GrubHub or GrubHub bought Seamless, but now it's all under the GrubHub name.
Yeah.
And that's the one that I use, but I only get stuff delivered from like 2 places, maybe 2 or 3 places. And I usually notice when there's some wild bullshit on there, like, that's not how much that's supposed to be. Nope.
Can't do it.
Nope, can't do it. Not tonight.
I'll be looking. I'll try to order something for Gabby, and like on principle, I'll be like, "Yo, shorty, I gotta go pick this up. I refuse to pay this. Like just to be delivered. Nah, cannot happen. There's no way it costs $30 to bring that food 6 blocks.
No, absolutely.
It cannot.
The 2 places that I usually use, I kind of know where it is. I think I took a super long walk and then I saw it and was like, oh, and then I took a picture of it and sent that picture to my roommate. And I was like, look what I found, because we've been ordering from it and no idea where it was coming from. But the other place, I honestly don't know where it is. So I'm like, I don't know if I could walk it or not. But there are places where I'm like, oh, that's around the counter, or around the corner, I'll pick that up. Or that's like 3 or 4 blocks. That's on the other side of the park. I'll get that. And then when you hit that pickup, they're just like, oh, all right.
There was a solid like 3 months where like I was placing orders from a Crown Fried that I know for a fact was closed. Like the gate was down. And they were still cooking inside. So like they was only like sending food out. Like I think they failed the inspection.
Oh God.
So like they couldn't function as a restaurant to the public. But like they could function on Seamless because Seamless don't get that update.
Yeah, I guess, but the place is still dirty. Well, what do I know? Everybody's kitchen is a C at best. I'm sorry. So I'm not even gonna whatever.
It didn't hit me till later. I was like I drove by and I was like, yo, it's like 3:00. Why is that shit closed? And then like the next day I placed the order and like it was running late. So I called and nobody was picking up. So I went to the place and it was shut down. And then the dude come out with the bike from the apartment side of the thing with my food. And I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna get removed from my rotation.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It's a straight up ratatouille situation where they got rats and they're cooking it, really putting their foot in it, I guess. But have you heard about this this thing that was definitely happening or was definitely more widespread once COVID started, where there are restaurants that would pop up on GrubHub or Seamless, but they all were completely different kinds of restaurants, but all had the same address. Like there were a bunch of pizza spots that said they were, all these different pizza spots, but it all came from one kitchen.
Okay.
So they were sending it out, but like sending it out under the different like restaurant names. So they were getting like twice as the business.
Because they showed up more times on the
yeah. So people are like, oh, I'll go to this place. This must be a new spot, blah, blah, blah. And it's all from the same like spot.
That's dope.
Is it? That feels weird. Because, that means the pricing is different as well.
Hey, yo, you get hustled. I know there was a dude on YouTube that like, he like as a test, he applied and started a restaurant from his apartment where all he did was sell microwave food from Target. And he just described it as really fancy food.
Oh, wow.
And like he spent his money only on packaging. So like people was getting like, he was like gourmet pepperoni and it was like Red Baron you know. And like the reviews was like, yo, this place is fire. You got to try this shit. And it was just him fucking making Red Baron in his oven.
Oh, wow.
Straight up. He was like, yeah, I was doing great. He was like, the only problem is I'm a real, this is really an apartment. Like I couldn't keep up with the orders.
Sure.
I'm doing this shit in a one oven.
Right.
So, but like he's like, it became a problem that I was getting too many good reviews.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
man. I mean, isn't that always the issue with your hustle? Is that it's just doing too many stars on Yelp? Isn't that ultimately
grows
what
too
the
fast,
problem
baby.
is? Grows too fast, you know? How do you scale? How do you scam and scale? That's the real question.
Scam and scale. You know what I mean?
More merch.
That's merch. I was about to say that sound kind of hard right there. That sound like a group on Rockefeller.
Yeah, that definitely was an aughts group, a late 90s, early aughts group.
Oh man! In other news, Blue Origin announces a replacement for Pete Davidson on the next space tourism mission. That's right, Jeff Bezos' space company Blue Origin said it will replace Saturday's Night Live star Pete Davidson with a longtime employee on the company's next supersonic jaunt to the edge of space. At least they're admitting it now. Okay. The company announced Monday it will replace Davidson with his chief architect of suborbital rocket, Gary Lai. Davidson, who has become a pillar of entertainment amid his relationship with Kim Kardashian and feud with Kanye, had been slated to fly as an invited guest along with 5 paying customers. But when the Blue Origin announced last week that it had to delay the flight from March 23rd to March 29th for additional ground tests on the rocket, the company also announced Davidson could no longer join the mission.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's so much.
Yeah, this to me is like, this is the biggest hit against this being space. Like, this is like proof definitively that nobody considers this going into outer space.
Oh, right. Okay.
You know, like if you tell me, yo, we about to go to space. I only got 6 seats, my G, but yo, I got you. You one of the 6. I left my cousin off. I left my mother off, but you going to space, B. And you like, yo, thank you. I've been dreaming of this shit my whole life. You know, and then like you've been planning, you waiting, you excited. And then like a week before, you like, yo, my bad. I gotta change the oil. Takes a couple days because it's a spaceship. You know, we gonna still fly. Flying next week still, but I can't do it on Tuesday. We flying Sunday. Going to outer space, my G. There's only like 4 flights a year, and you like, oh nah, B, I can't do it no more. You know, I'd rather.
What this speaks to is the power of Lorne. The power of Lorne Michaels. The 23rd, yes, because it's a bye week this week on SNL.
Hell
no
yeah.
guests this week. So yeah, he could have done it. He could have done it on the 23rd because there was no one coming up. But the 29th, they've got a guest that Saturday. So the 29th is like their first day back. Like it's their Monday, basically. Tuesday through Saturday. And then they have Sunday and Monday off. And then Tuesday start again. So the 29th is on a Tuesday. He's going to have to be at work. And Lorne is not going to let you miss a week of work, a day of work, because your ass is trying to go to the parking lot of space with Jeff Bezos. That's not a thing Lorne's going to do. You know what I mean? That's some crazy shit. So I absolutely see them going, oh, we had to move it to the 29th, and Pete Davidson being like, yeah, dog, I got to work.
Sorry, like
I can't. There's no way I can get that day off.
I don't know if you heard of my boss, B, but
my boss, yeah, he's kind of powerful.
Yeah, he's really strict about like scheduled days.
Yeah, like it's you know.
I don't know anybody that's called out on Saturday before, you know, so I can't do it.
Right, exactly. I mean, look, like a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, when they still did a show, even though half of the cast and crew had COVID. Lorne ain't trying to hear you trying to go to space on the work day.
That dude he paid audience members to show up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Nothing stops that man.
But legally, that's what you had to do. You had to, in order to be a part of a taping, you needed to be a part of
the cast.
You had to get paid because you were at work. That was the only way around it. So they paid the audience members. So yeah, I get it, but really this is speaks more to this speaks more to the intrigue and cult around Lorne Michaels than it does the intrigue around Blue Origin or whatever the fuck this is.
Jeff Bezos lost to Lorne. That's real. I like that. Okay.
Yeah, as it should be.
Funny beats packages. Okay.
I mean, you look, Jeff Bezos's wallet is thick, but Lorne Michaels' wallet is long.
I like
You hear
me? I like that. As real.
That is. I mean, this show's been on for 47 years.
You ready to discover Eddie Murphy? Okay.
Yeah. Oh well, Lorne didn't really either. He wasn't on those years, right? But still,
still okay.
Still, he gave us Keenan.
There you go. A lot of Keenan.
So much Keenan. So yeah, absolutely. I could see Jeff Bezos and Jeff Bezos really should understand that, considering the way they work their people at Amazon factories. He should really understand why Pete would be like, my boss, I can't leave work. You know what I mean?
It's like, I get it, and I'm impressed with your boss.
Right. Oh my God.
Oh man, they're all monsters.
They are. They are all the worst.
It's absolutely critical, says ex-Trump official who backs Biden's computer chip push. That's right. Former Trump National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster is calling on Congress to swiftly fund investments in American computer chip manufacturing, a plan championed by the Biden administration to address global semiconductor shortages. It's absolutely critical, McMaster, a retired Army Lieutenant General, told CNN. If China has a lock on supply chains relating to economic prosperity or our security, that's really a bad thing. McMaster participated in a bipartisan Commerce Department event Monday, where national security officials urged lawmakers to pass the Bipartisan Innovation Act, which would invest $52 billion in domestic semiconductor conductor production and advanced manufacturing. The event included former Trump officials Matthew Pottinger and Bonnie Glick. These are real names. I love that. Like they they all sound like characters of SWAT, and highlighted how members of both administrations have found agreement in the need to compete aggressively with China. Supply chains have been biased in favor almost exclusively of efficiency and low cost, have to be shifted in favor of resilience. McMaster said in an
that
interview.
Makes no sense to me. None of that. I'm like, what? That sentence makes no sense. An epic shortage of computer chips has helped drive up the cost of consumer electronics and cause record price spikes on new and used cars. Car prices are contributing to the worst inflation in 40 years. Just 12% of the world's computer chips are made in the US today, compared with 40% in 1990. Almost all 90% of the most sophisticated chips are made outside of the US. So yeah, we do need to hop on this chip shit.
For real. Because we make 12% of the chips and we make less than 10% of the sophisticated chips. That means the few chips we making are the shitty chips.
Or bullshit chips.
Yeah.
They're the chips that are going in Acer.
That's it, B.
Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, an Acer computer is fine, I guess, but also
still works.
If we made it, yikes. The computer chip shortage is so severe that Ford recently announced it will start shipping Explorers without all the parts. Come on now. What does that even mean?
Yo, we ordering Legos now, B? You for real, son?
Okay.
You sending me pieces?
I'm sure I've already gone off on this before, but here's one thing. Quit putting computers in cars. I'm sorry. I just stop it. Just give me a couple where I just gotta have an uncle and then we fix the car.
That's
just,
it.
It
worked. It worked for years.
It worked for years. I can
century,
roll up
actually.
the window. Yeah. But yeah, we really probably should step up the making of chips. But also we are short on so much. Like when he said there's so many shortages, and I'm just like, what aren't we short on at this point?
Patience. Slacking, B.
Yeah, like we are out of everything.
Oh,
We're
man.
out of everything. I wish a country could just put up a sign that said, on break or something. We just look. Closed for the season. Check back in 3 months. You know what I mean? In the way that H&R Block is closed from like June to December.
Oh yeah.
Or like, let's just close at the end of our fiscal year. Let's just shut it down for like 3 months and try to make some fucking more COVID tests, some more computer chips.
I fuck with this.
Just something like give us a chance to like figure that shit out.
Yo, the U.S. should follow the school schedule. Like they should have winter break. They should have Christmas recess.
Like already things are a little bit like, well, they were like, TV seasons were like that. And it felt more like the whole world moved that way. But then I think with the advent of the internet, it felt like things needed to keep going all the time, blah, 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 blah. And I don't think that's right. I think we should just slow it down. Yeah. Especially with global warming, with the heat being as such, maybe we do need to just slow it down. Oh my gosh.
If you would like to slow it down, like Shalewa says, that's right.
Just a little.
Just a little bit, Drink some cognac, take a few days off.
Give us a minute to figure out how to make a computer chip.
Let us learn, B. We trying.
Good ones. We want to make good ones.
We're going to look up the instructions on YouTube as a country. Me and Joe Biden hand in hand,
I just imagine Uncle Sam like looking at YouTube trying to figure out how to make sophisticated chip, and it's about
enter.
Yeah, and he gets back like how to make a good potato chip or something.
No, but they'll be slamming though.
Yeah, they would be really good.
I do think that's what me and Joe are qualified for. We're gonna make some amazing tangy Carolina barbecue chips.
Oh boy.
Real niche. If you would like to see how me and Joe Biden figure out how to make computer chips, all you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. If you are Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate all your ratings. 4 stars means that we should not be making computer chips. I can't even diss you on that. That's a valid thing. It's a real concern.
We may accept your 4 stars.
This time I'm gonna let it go. 5 stars, you believe in us. Admittedly, I appreciate it, but this time you're wrong. I'll still take those 5 stars. Thank you for the faith. If you have any articles you'd like us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. With all that said, my name is computer programmer Gastor Almonte, chip maker.
Okay, all right.
With quality control supervisor Shalewa Sharpe. Verifying that all the chips work.
This one doesn't work, but it tastes fantastic. Please stop putting the computer chips in olive oil, Gastor. That is not the key.
See, we're already getting better. This has been a bonus episode of the War Report. Catch y'all next time. Peace. Bang, bang.